After recently playing all the Life is Strange games, and with Double Exposure setting something up for the future, I wanted to talk about what I think the series will be like in the future, and what I would like to see. Double Exposure ended with Max and Sophie parting ways after Sophie wanted to use her powers how she saw fit. This led to a divide between the two and has now set up Sophie to be a potential antagonist in a future game. At the very end of Double Exposure, we get one final scene where Sophie realizes that Diamond might have powers and gives an offer to join her, which she does. This leads to my first prediction. I believe that Diamond will be our next protagonist, following Sophie as she goes around trying to find other people with powers, and using her own power how she sees fit. This could then be a game that is closer to Life is Strange 2, as the two make their way across the country, following clues and trying to find someone else. This could lead them to possibly find Alex, as she would be easier to track down and implement into the game. I don't believe they could go to Daniel, as he has four possible endings, and we see where he is in the future in all of them. Of course, they could just create a new person or keep it just Sophie and Diamond. If they do go down the Sophie Diamond route, I would think it would be something along the lines of as the game progresses, Sophie does progressively worse things with her power, justifying it by saying she was given powers so she knows what's right. This would then lead the player to making choices on whether they agree or disagree with Sophie and how they deal with her. The end choice could then be something like Diamond and Sophie working together to cause something bad to happen that has some benefit, or Diamond disagrees with Sophie and tries to, or successfully stops her. This could then also be like Life is Strange 2, as how you react to Sophie's plans throughout the games changes whether or not you can stop her. I think this would be a pretty cool concept, but the biggest problem with it is that this would mean there would need to be at least one more game after it where Sophie goes back to confront Max, as at the end of Double Exposure, it says, Max Caulfield will return. Meaning there has to be at least one more game with her in it, and now this kind of leads into my second prediction. As we know, Max has to be in at least one more game, and that game is most likely going to be some sort of confrontation with Sophie. Now, this game could be a sequel to my first prediction, but let's assume it's not for now. These games all come out about 3 years apart from one another, and generally take place 3 years after the previous game, so let's assume that is the case. Sophie and Diamond have been going across the country using their powers how they see fit. They now come back to Max after being more experienced in the hope of getting her to join them. Or perhaps they did something and they want to use Max's power to undo it. From there, I don't know where they would go with it. Maybe Max agrees so she can try to help them or stop them. Maybe she is forced to go, or else they will purposely cause a storm or something of that nature. Maybe it's just a lot more chill and they want her help in solving a murder. Whatever the case may be, I hope that after this game there aren't any more major crossovers or direct sequels, as will most likely limit the number of unique games and stories they can create because they can't make choices or endings big, as it would be too hard to work around. I do like this concept and am looking forward to see what they do and how it pays off, as it would be a really nice arc for Max and the series as a whole. But once again, I don't want this to be the standard where every game has to tie in into one grand story. I like the games all taking place in the same universe while being isolated enough to properly tell their own story. Now I want to talk about what I want outside of what I think is going to happen. I would like another game to be like Life is Strange 2, where it's not a mystery adventure, but instead you follow some other kind of story. One problem I think 2 had was that it covered so much distance and time that certain things had to happen to progress the story whether you liked it or not. This new game could follow a similar format but at a much smaller scale to where your choices feel validated and nothing feels forced. Even if they choose not to do another game that isn't some sort of mystery adventure, I'd be fine, as I do quite enjoy it and it's where the series seems to be settling down. I've also been thinking about what other powers I would like to see in this series, and before Double Exposure, I had considered shapeshifting, but wasn't sure how exactly it would be implemented. Another one has been invisibility, as it would allow you to overhear conversations or get into locations you normally couldn't. It could work on a time limit, that way there are still risks of using it improperly or getting caught. I want variety in these games, different protagonists in different areas with different situations. Really show us the life in Life is Strange, all the different way peoples live their lives, and all the things that can happen. Above all else, I want and expect good, high quality, and passionate games. These games mean a lot to me, and I want them to be good and to succeed. If the games take a risk and fail, but are still well made and have passion, I'm fine with that. If the games stick to being mysteries for the rest of the series, I'm fine with that too. Once again, as long as they're well made and have passion. I love the Life is Strange games, and I look forward to seeing what the future has in store. Thank you for watching my video. I would love to hear what you think about the Life is Strange series, what you want to see in the future, and what you think the future would look like. Outside of that, I just want to say that this is my final Life is Strange video of not only of the year, but also until the next game comes out. And I just like to say I have had an absolute blast working on the series, and I love the Life is Strange games, and that's really all I need to say. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in 2025.